Hi everyone, it's Roger here from what's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on how Marvel is slowing down its movies and its Disney Plus releases. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So there's no doubt about it that in the last few years, Marvel has kind of hit some speed bumps. And while it was riding high and just getting bigger and bigger with the success of Infinity War and Endgame, after that, the wheels started coming off and they started kind of getting a bit bumpy with releases that weren't quite hitting the same. We had some box office failures, some shows weren't doing as well as they would hope. And yeah, there's just generally just been a mass shift in the look and the output that we've seen from Marvel. Now, a lot of this has been talked about for many years, and we've been sort of been going over it, I feel, for quite a while. But recently we've got some new information from Wall Street Journal, who have said that Marvel president Kevin Feiges actually said that watching and kind of keeping up with all of the Marvel projects is actually more like homework than entertainment, and feels that they have been putting out too much content. Now apparently they had a massive, great big kind of meeting a couple of years ago and decided to reformat what they were doing, reschedule what they were going to be bringing out, and from that we've seen some changes. Now we're just seeing, I think in some way, some of the projects that kind of were already in hand, already be underway at that point, are just coming to the point of being released. Like Ironheart, that's kind of one of those projects that actually got filmed many years ago and has just been kind of waiting for them to put it out there. Some of the animated projects as well. And this year kind of feels a little bit like they are just trying to throw some of this stuff out and just kind of get it all over with. I think just releasing like 3 or 4 animated projects this year, 3 or 4 series, few films. Whereas next year things are really slowing down. We're only going to be getting the new Avengers Doomsday movie and also Spider-Man. Plus second season of Daredevil, and I think we're going to be getting second seasons of X-Men 97 and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and possibly the Vision Quest series. So still quite a bit, but a drastic reduction from what we've got this year and what we've seen in the past. Now, yeah, we already know that Marvel has been struggling from trying to put out too much stuff, and a lot of that has been put on the pressures that were put on by Disney executives for the launch of Disney Plus, and to keep that output going, which saw them making loads and loads of shows. So we saw WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Miss Marvel, etc, etc, etc. And this resulted in kind of Kevin Feige and the rest of the Marvel team kind of becoming overwhelmed. And there was a report in the from the Wall Street Journal that some of the team were literally trying to grab Kevin Feige in the hallway to talk to him about stuff, because it was taking weeks sometimes for decisions to get made because he was so busy. At which point then they were like, right now that's no good, we need to go back and do it, or we haven't got time to redo it. And yeah, that resulted in a real lack of quality, and fans have started to get a bit weary of it. They've been burnt out. People have not been watching the shows in the same numbers. For example, Daredevil Born Again, those viewership numbers are not high. We've not really heard anything about the viewing numbers, which is not a good sign. Thunderbolts is doing okay at the box office. It's nothing amazing. I think it's a fantastic film. Captain America Brave New World didn't do that well either, and it's just this kind of thing. People have got a little bit bored. The superhero genre has been done to death, and Marvel overdid it, and they definitely overdid it with all the Disney Plus shows, and now we are really going to start seeing them scaling it back. And next year is kind of really where we're starting to see where some of these projects that were set up in this new era of less are going to start coming into effect. We yeah, like I said, less, 1 or 2 shows a year, 1 or 2 movies. That is all we're going to be getting. No more 3 or 4 movies a year, 3 or 4 shows, more animated stuff. There's going to be a lot less. I think that's probably a good thing. I don't necessarily think the animated series really fall into that in the same way. There's different audience, and that's kind of like die-hard fans. It's not the mainstream audience, but the mainstream audience has got bored, is too confused with too many new characters, isn't connected with them, and they're kind of, in some ways, rebooting, I think, after these kind of final 2 Avengers movies. But yeah, this report really does kind of, I think, highlight what we already knew, and what we've known for a while, that they were slowing things down, and you can sense it. You know, we've got Ironheart coming up next month. I've seen quite a few people talking about the fact of, like, why haven't we seen any promotion for it? Why hasn't there? Well, because they're trying to focus right now on Thunderbolts. That is the priority. And I say this so many times, people. TV shows get advertised differently to movies. TV shows don't need to be promoted months in advance in the same way that a movie does, because people aren't spending their money on it. You know, you can, as long as you start seeing trailers and stuff like the week of or the week before, and then also more importantly when the week they're out or so afterwards. That's what's going to get you in. You're seeing it with Star Wars Andor. I'm seeing promotions and trailers and posters and stuff all over the place. Now it's out. That's where they're focused on it, because like, right, you can watch it now. You can watch it now at home. That's what they want you to do. Telling you that a show is coming to Disney Plus in 3-4 months doesn't mean anything to most people. They're wanting to watch TV now. It's a lot more shorter attention span, and that's one thing. But so moving forward, just expect to see a lot less. I think, you know, we're going to have Ironheart coming out next month. Then the month after, we're going to be getting Fantastic Four. Then we've got Eyes of Wakanda in August. In October, we've got the new Zombies animated series. And then in December, we have got Wonder Man. I still think that's too much, but I personally feel like Eyes of Wakanda, Ironheart, and also the Zombies show are just being thrown out just to allow more time to kind of build up to Doomsday. Yeah, it's interesting. I think this is something we've all been kind of easily see. You can see Star Wars are doing the same thing. They're cutting back on how much we're getting. Pixar's had to do the same. All the studios just got pushed too much because of the push to launch Disney Plus, and that has caused them lots of problems, lots of quality control, which has put people off. And now they're having to rebuild that trust by putting out banger after banger. And I think, you know, Captain America Brave New World was a really good, solid movie. I watched it again last week and watched Thunderbolts last week in the cinema and really enjoyed it. Daredevil I thought was fantastic. So I think the quality is there, but unfortunately they've kind of lost that goodwill. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think that's a good move moving forward of having less? And also the fact now that it's kind of being reported by the major outlets like the Wall Street Journal that, you know, Marvel is doing less. Like I said, I've been talking about this for a while, that we can see it coming, and they've been talking about it, but it's becoming much more well known. But let me know your thoughts on this. Do you agree with it? Do you not? Love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Later.